Hello, hello. I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. If you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. You can learn a little bit more about me by checking out the information box down below. And by checking out Desert Cauldron, we have a sale, a Samhain sale in our witchy shop right now. So if you're looking for witchy goodies and magical tools to work with, definitely check out Desert Cauldron on Etsy. And also, check out all the other magical offerings over on my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, the YouTube members, Patreon, lots of good stuff there. But hey, we're here on Sunday. Let me know what you guys have cooked up for today. What do you guys have cooked up for this week? Let's see. Susie's here, our mighty moderators. Dude, give it up for our mighty moderators, by the way. Good morning to you all. Susie says, Tara and chat, much love. I have to miss this week because I have company coming over. Love you all. See you next week. Have a beautiful day. Mwah! I hope you have a wonderful day, Susie. Alrighty, guys. So, before we dive into our weekly reading, I do want to say for everybody who's watching the replay, first of all, make sure that you read that chat because there's always some wonderful things going on in the chat. And yeah, they have a lot of great messages to share because with our weekly readings, I like it to be all inclusive. So I like people to be able to share what they're getting as far as messages, whether you're using tarot cards or runes or you're just straight up intuition, channeling some messages. Definitely let us know what they are. And then after our weekly reading today, we're going to go into what was voted on in our poll. So I have a YouTube member poll, a Patreon poll, and a public poll on my channel's page. And I pile all the votes together. And technically, if you're a YouTube member or a patron, you're really wanting to see something, usually you could push the votes into your favor. You get to add those extra votes. So what was voted on for this week's is people wanted a spirit box session. So I did a spirit box session for my Patreon homies. Thank you to everybody who attended over there, as also everybody who is a part of the live chat crew over on my Patreon page. So thank you, thank you. But I want to do like a sampling of that session, kind of like what we did over on Patreon, just, a little bit differently. And yeah, so before we dive into all of that and dive into our, one card readings with our super chats and super stickers and with our channeled guided meditation today, I do want to give some shout outs. So like I said, to my mighty moderators, you know who they are because they have the wrench of destiny next to their name. But also thank you to all of my subscribers. It's amazing. Wow. How many have subscribed to this channel. So thank you so much. And also to my YouTube members, so Kayla and Nancy, Astrid, Jolene, and our newest member, Stormy Fever. Mwah! Thank you guys. Love you guys. And also to my Patreon homies. So Lily and Dana and Jamie and Kayla and Syrian and Brandy, Jason, Brian, Karen, Lisa, Palu, Crystal, Sarah, Oz, Joel, and our newest member, Megan. So love you guys. Alrighty. So let me show you the decks that I'm working with for our weekly reading. I've decided to go full on Patrick Valencia from the Deviant Moon because I just received his Gallery of Hallucinations Oracle. I ordered this back in June. So it's like, ha 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 ha, it's finally arrived. But he has some amazing art. I love that it's actually landscape. I don't have really any other decks that are landscape. I have some decks where the cards are mostly vertical, but maybe a few cards are landscape. But I like cards for the most part. Maybe I'm just kind of anal. I like them to be kind of uniform. And if you're going to go landscape, go full on landscape. I think that the art is amazing. You guys will see it in a moment. But yeah, so I have this deck of his. I have, well, I guess one of his other decks is over there, but these are the decks that I picked of his. Mildred Payne's Oracle of Black Enchantment. And I also have Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle, which looks just like this. So yeah, I thought that would be funsies. And then I brought out the L'Hôtel de Marseille par Polka. And I don't think I've really busted this out with you guys in quite a while. Alrighty. Well, you may notice as well that the audio is a little bit different today, and that's because I don't have any microphones right now. Um, I have a brand new phone, so I traded in my old iPhone XS Max. Uh, old. It wasn't old, but anyway, old in I guess the way technology moves these days. But I was just kind of like, I want to try something new. I mean, iPhone was the first smartphone I ever had since moving over from my flip phone, and I was like really digging my heels in. I was like, I don't want to move from my flip phone, and my ex was like, he says, okay, but it takes forever to text because you have to, you know. Remember having to press the numbers several times to get to the letter that you want to send a text. So it'd be like 333 755 7 7 3 3, to try to send a text message. He's like, it would just be so much easier. And I was like, no, because everybody's going to become a zombie if we all start using smartphones. And well, I don't know, maybe that's come true, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I ended up getting an iPhone, and that's all I ever knew. But I wanted to try something new. So uh, James has a Samsung, so I'm trying out a Samsung. I have a Samsung Galaxy S24, and I actually got it for technically free. Did have to pay the tax on it, but they were doing some promotion where they were taking any phone, any age, and it ended up being that my trade-in cost, or my trade-in value, ended up being the exact same cost as this phone. So yay for free, semi-free stuff. So anyway, it's got a different plug for my microphones. So I bought new microphones that would fit this phone, but those are sitting at the post office, and we won't be able to make it to the post office until tomorrow to drop off all of our shop's packages and things like that, and to pick up supplies for James's birthday on Tuesday. We're going to the petrified forest. So I want to pick up like cake supplies. I'm going to be making an ice cream cake again, and picking up a few other items. One of his gifts is coming from the UK, and it's not going to be here in time, but well, I'm sure he'll like it anyway. It'll just be late, I suppose, but whatevs. um so anyway, yeah, so I'm sorry, I apologize if the audio's, like I said, funky. Wow, hello flies. All right, our buddy Patrick is here. He says, hi brothers and sisters, what's up? My buddy and John Gross is here. What's up? Mr. Jordan says, audio sounds great. Funny, I upgraded from an iPhone XS Max 2 to an iPhone 15 Pro Max. Ooh, very nice. Darren says, hey, how are you going? Gorgeous, do you like blue? I don't know what that is, actually. John says, congrats on the new device. Well, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and slang some cards. You guys don't have to slang cards, but I would highly encourage you guys to tap into your intuition in any form that you like tapping into your intuition. So, if that includes pulling cards or pulling some runes or, channeling or whatever it may be, I think that it just creates a more well-rounded reading when it's coming from multiple different higher selves instead of just my higher self. So, all right, Patrick says anything but iPhone. I used to work with them. Never ever again. Samsung forever. Yeah, I've been noticing it's gonna get real tricky trying to get my stuff onto my iMac because I have an iMac computer. I don't really have the funds to go ahead and buy a brand new computer, like to get a PC, because I'm trying not to update my iMac's operating software, because if I do, it's going to operate the software right out of date of my Photoshop and Lightroom. And you guys know I like photography, so and I have the old CD versions of Photoshop and Lightroom. And I know now that all that stuff's gone subscription service because they like to drain us for every dollar we have. And so if I upgrade to the next operating software, that software is going to be out of date for my photography stuff. And that's like, I need to upgrade it technically, I guess, to get some app to allow my computer to read my Samsung. And I'm just like, can it just read it? So anyway, we're gonna have to go through James's computer to get to my computer to use iMovie to do the photo editing, and just, I don't know. what ifs? We'll figure it out. We'll manifest a timeline where everything just works itself out. um, Anyway, Kiki says, "Hey, gorgeous, can I see the earrings?" You sure can. You know, the batteries are dead in these puppies, which I'm kind of sad, but they used to blink. Um, and they're just little pumpkins, but I'm so sad I can't blinky for you guys. All right, 1111 is here. What's up, my dude? Mike Green says, "Hi, all my love from myself and across the pond." Coven of Curiosity, good morning from sunny South Florida. Welcome, welcome. Anad, hello. How are you? How are you, my friend? John says, "Yeah, I loved an old version of Photoshop that I can't access, and it's sad." Yeah. Yep, we should be able to get new batteries pretty cheap. I know, right? Dude. Alrighty. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some cards. I want to pull a theme card from the Gallery of Hallucinations. And then let's pull a few cards from Le Terre de Marseille, du Marseille, par Paul K. Okie dokie. By the way, how are you guys doing this morning? I got to have a fun ass day yesterday. So, a couple of my neighbors, or one of my neighbors, husband and wife, they are building their house right now, and they needed some help with their roof yesterday. They're finally installing the roof. They want to get everything buttoned up before winter comes. And so when James and I got there, we saw that our neighbors had brought up a couple of their friends from the valley for help. And then there's a couple of neighbors that we'd never met before, but they're technically like right in between our neighbor Jim, who, you know, we're really close with, but we just never met them. And so we finally got to meet them. They're wonderful people. And I just had so much fun. It was like, you know, I've always wanted that sense of community. What I'd always seen in my visions basically is that, you know, we'd be out here, but everybody would start to really come together. And it really felt like that yesterday, where everybody was laughing and having fun. And it was just like family. We were all just with family, and we all come from different backgrounds. Everybody has different beliefs, you know, different ways of doing things, but everybody's just a wonderful human being. Like their energy, the energy is just amazing. And we got to go see actually our neighbors that we'd never met before. We got to go see their home that they had totally like rebuilt from the ground up. Like it was this dilapidated home, but when they rebuilt it, it's beautiful. It's that kind of country farmhouse kind of looking home. They're very talented people. It was just the two of them that did it. They created these like porches and, you know, different like just it's beautiful. You know what they have done. And come to find out, we had a ton in common, so it was just amazing. I was like riding on a high when we got home, because I was just like, it was great. It was really really great. Okay, so let's pull a card, a theme card for this week. I don't want these cards to fly away. Oh, by the way, here is what the Gallery of Hallucinations Oracle looks like. So it's all landscape, but, you know, ta-da! I love the art on here. Okay. Let's see. Mark Inuit says, "I have a question." Sure. Also, if you're looking for like a card question, I do super chats and super stickers towards the end of the chat. So if you're wanting to do that, just stay tuned. Mr. Jordan says, "Do you have any plans to channel Kamala's higher self if she wins the election?" I don't know. You know, I guess, you know, over on Patreon, I do voting for them. Like once a month, they get an extra like channeling session, like just for them. It's exclusive, and then after like a month or so, we put it out. So like there was an extra channeling that came out on YouTube that was Einstein, but we originally did that for Patreon and YouTube members. So that's something that I could add to the voting, you know, and see if that's what they vote on, then that could be the extra channeling that we add. Or if, you know, a lot of people are asking for it, we'll definitely do a channeling on it. But we kind of go with like, we appreciate all the suggestions. So I'll put that definitely. By the way, I don't want to say I'm like not putting it on our channeling list, but I will put on the list. So thank you for the suggestion. Um, let's see. Kimbo Willie says, "Good morning, hello, hello." Wang is like, "Is that a body sleeping in the back?" Oh, sorry, that's like the shading that we put over our garden. That's actually right there. So maybe I should go move that out of the way before more people start coming in thinking I have a body back there. They're like, "Put them in a body bag," But okay, I'll be right back. No more body bag. All right. Let's see. Patrick says it's on and off with good moments and very bad moments. Some ego things. OMG, it's getting clear, but I have one that loves to fight and destroy anything. Is very loud as well. Well, I think that with like matrix and ego and just the way things are splitting, it's just feeling very intense at this time. And I'm not going to say that it's going to get any easier, but I know that we just have to keep pushing through it because it's what we do. It's the choice that we've made. Um, Palash, hello from India. Hey. I will definitely pull some cards with super chats and super stickers towards the end of the chat today. So if you want to hang tight for that, definitely just hold on. James Smith says, how does one transcend the human experience? I would say, it all starts in meditation, getting to know the voice of your soul versus the voice of the ego. I don't demonize the ego. It's just another voice, but it definitely is part of the matrix. And, if that's something that you want to truly understand to ascend, and transcend this, it's good to try to understand everything about it, understand what it sounds like as well as our soul, so that we can make very clear and informed decisions. Like right now I'm making an ego decision, or right now I'm making a soul decision, or maybe a little bit of both. And everybody has a different path, so some people want to find that neutral line, some people want to work the negative polarity, some people just want to work the positive polarity. And but it's having the clarity to be able to discern between the two or the three, or however many polarities there actually may be. Palash says, under the sky, under the universe, God. Yes, all beautiful. Patrick says, in 2 weeks, I will ask again where I am at my ego. I need to deal with this ego first. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Jose, you're a sweetie. Thank you so much. Lily, what's up? JG 1982 saying hello from Midland, Texas. Hello. Um, James Smith's like, sorry, bud. Gaggy, hello. JG says, James is not the prettiest place to live, but economy is awesome here. And Rocky was wondering what we were talking about. Somebody was talking about transcending the human experience. So I was just talking about like meditation and, just a different point of view, I guess, of looking at things. Mr. Jordan says, Brittany says hi. Tell her I said hello right back. Okay, so let me pull a few cards from the Terre du Marseille par Polka to help us out with our reading today. Rocky says, thanks from Brazil. Oh, hey. Welcome. Okay, so let's put 1, 2, 3 cards. Excellent. And then after this weekly reading, we're going to get into our spirit box session. I think you guys are really going to like that. Mike Green says, Body Bags is a good, funny film. Hey, I'll go check it out. I've been trying, James and I have been watching, of course, our more Halloween-y or dark twisty type movies. But lately I want like funny dark twisties. So we watched one, maybe it was called The Elevator. I don't remember. It was an M. Night Shyamalan one where people are trapped in an elevator and like the devil's in the elevator or something. Everybody's like dying in the elevator. I don't know. It's got the Shyamalan twist at the end. Don't want to spoil it if you've never seen it, but look up M. Night Shyamalan's movies and see if you can find one that's about being stuck in an elevator. I thought it was fun. It's got a lot of dark humor in it, but I thought it was fun. I love me some Shyamalan. Um, Epic says, new here. God bless you always, beautiful soul. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty. So let's pull our cards. So our theme for the week, we have the affair. Ooh. Let's see what this means. Because, well, guys, this upcoming week, we have Samhain. We have Halloween for those people that celebrate Halloween. We have All Hallows Eve. We have getting closer to Dia de los Muertos. We have Dia de los Niños. And for people who are more Christian, we have All Souls Day coming up. We have our friends in India, which I believe kind of maybe already started, but Diwali is already going on, the Festival of Lights. There's a lot of beautiful things going on. Of course, our friends in the Southern Hemisphere having different celebrations, but celebrations nonetheless. So, hey, tis a fun time. Tis a fun time. Angela says, love your shirt. Thank you. And Gaggy says, could you channel of the roots where I can find my roots? Finding people's roots. We could definitely look into that, like how maybe one can connect to their own higher self. We still have to make a video on that, by the way, like how we channel and how we do shadow work. And but we did a channeling Q&A. It was called Fireside Chat Q&A. It's under the channeling list, where we did kind of talk about channeling a little bit, but I think we need to update that because every time we heal and grow, things always change. So, I mean, but if you're interested, definitely go check that out. Angela said, hidden souls, hidden energies, spirits sneaking home to surprise you. Don't worry, there are no bad intentions. They just want candy and to bring you love. Palash says, in India we had Diwali, lots of firecrackers and so much noise. Oh, yes. James has been to India before. That is his, according to him, his favorite country in the whole world. And he can't wait to go back. And he loves the Indian people, the food, the energy, everything. And he really, really loved Diwali. So, yeah, he gets excited about that. Brown Beauty says, I'd like insight about... so yeah, we're doing super chats and super stickers towards the end of the chat today for anybody who'd like me to pull cards. So just stay tuned. Angela says, love to you, and say boo, sorry typos. No worries. Weary Bunny says, have a great day to you as well. John says, love the fire festivals and that they're all over the world. Yes, definitely something that I think represents our fire inside. No reference to AFI, which is also meaning a fire inside, the rock band, more punk band. But anyway, you guys get what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's go back to here before I got sidetracked, as my little brain does. The affair. So upcoming this week, let's tap into it. Oh, okay. All right. So with all of these different festivals, a lot of them are festivals of light, as well as festivals celebrating more of the darker aspects of our reality, kind of like our shadows. Sometimes people could look at it as negative polarity. Many people are honoring their ancestors at this time. I have an ancestral altar. I don't have all of like my calaveras about, because I just don't have much cash anymore, but I do have a lot of bones that I found out on my hike, so I'm using those, but I don't necessarily have calaveras. But anyway, which are like but anyway. So it feels like with this week, this is a wonderful week to really delve into and not only enjoy the light and try to see our light for what it is in all of its aspects. Try to look at it, and while you're looking into your light, try to look into the shadow of that light. Sometimes when the light is taken to its extreme, anything taken to extreme can have a shadow aspect to it. So when our light, let's say when we want to really just stand as a light worker and I want to stand in my light, when we take that to the extreme, what shadow can come of that if we go too extreme with it? And just the same with the negative polarity with the shadow side. Can we push the shadow side so far that it ends up reflecting the light? And what is in that? Where does my shadow and my light reside in me? What does it look like? What does it sound like? And I think the more clear we can understand ourselves, maybe particularly this week, maybe people may have their guards down so they'd be more apt to doing shadow work. They may be more apt to looking inwards, at all aspects of the self. If that rings true for you, then I would say definitely utilize this time. If Halloween and Samhain and Dia de los Muertos and Diwali and all of these things, if it gives you permission, and this is the permission you want to really dive into the self, and I want to, I'm not afraid of the shadows around this time, or I'm not afraid of my darker aspects, or my traumas or my programming, like I want to heal that at this time, then definitely, use it as a permission slip and look in, because I think that utilizing it this week, we're really going to propel ourselves forward in our healing by doing so. But of course, it's your free will choice. You have the choice whether or not you're comfortable with that or you're ready for that. And it's all based on your soul's mission. Everything is just learning. There are no bad experiences. Everything is just an experience. So there's no bad choice. There's no good choice. It's all just a choice, but we have to understand why we are making those choices. Why I make the choice to look inwards this week, or I don't want to look inwards this week. Why? What's the reasoning? Try to get to the core of it. And there's learning in that as well. So, hey. All right. Let's see. Um, Brown Beauty says, you have a beautiful energy. Well, thank you. You guys all have an amazeballs energy. That's why I love hanging out with you guys on my Sunday. Angela says, where are Susie and Silver Star and Lisa? If they aren't here, we should send them soul hugs, sending all who want hugs. Susie said that she has some company in town, so she went to go attend to her house guests. And I know Silver Star is on vacation right now, so she's traveling with her family. Lisa is, I think, working on some stuff right now, so I think that's where everybody's at. But our friend Dana is here. What's up, girlfriend? Angela says, shadows just need hugs like every part of your heart. Give your shadow love. Don't let it fall apart. Relax and accept it. It's a part of you. Shadows listen more with love, so give them love to every bit of you. Yes. And Dana says, been in such a death and rebirth energy. Dude, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Simpatico. Okay, so I pulled some clarification cards from the Tarot du Marseille. And we have the Three of Copas, so the Three of Cups here. We have the Ace of Swords, and I love that. I thought this was intestines. Turns out it was an umbilical cord, but there's an umbilical cord running through most of the cards, which is creepy but cool, And then we have Le Soleil, so we have the sun. Alrighty, let's put this all together. Patrick says, is there a lake close by where you live? Actually, yes. I live in White Mountain Lakes. So we do have a few lakes. We have a Silver Creek, which is kind of a creaky lake, I guess. And then we have a couple of lakes around us. We also have lakes over on the Navajo and Apache reservations here as well. So, but right now I just have the creek running, which is man-made. That was something that James created. All right, so let's get some clarification on this. Okay. If you choose to accept this mission with your free will, if you choose to truly take an objective look at your ego this week, not trying to demonize it, not trying to be like, I kill you, ego, but more, show me all aspects of you. Where are all aspects of the ego in me? Where are all aspects of the ego in my occupation, in who I surround myself with, in what I like, in what I don't like, in all facets of my emotions, in how I take care of myself or don't choose not to take care of myself, just trying to take an objective look and where the ego is in all of those aspects. If you can do that this week, which I know can be very difficult because it can be triggering sometimes when we're like, I just am that way. That's just my personality. But if we can get out of that, essentially get out of our ego and have that higher perspective, why is that just our personality? Why have we chosen to incorporate that as our personality? If we have more of a fiery personality, where is that stemming from? Yes, we could just say, oh, well, my parents had fiery personalities, or I was just born that way. Okay, but let's really try to dive into it, So, um, yeah, I think that we can do some deep learning if we try to objectively look at the ego this week, because we're always trying to look into our higher self. Of course we should be looking at both halves, yes. But like I said, since it's technically a more shadowy type week, if we can allow ourselves to use the ego as a learning device to look at our lives objectively, then we can have more clarity moving forward. It doesn't matter what happened in the past, and it matters not what's going to be really happening in the future. If we feel right in the present, if we feel in alignment, if we feel that I'm focusing right now 100% on my healing, I'm right where I feel I need to be, then the future is just going to work itself out. It's going to be in alignment with the energy that you're in right now, or that you will eventually be in because of the energy that you're in right now. If you look at the past and we say, oh man, I feel regret and resentment about things that happened in the past, then you know what? The past is going to stay with you. It's going to be like a little poop bag that just kind of follows us along, and we never release it. But if we can say, you know what, that's something that happened, I'm going to learn the lesson and I'm going to cut the cord to it, and it's not going to affect my current decisions, then you know what? Then the past doesn't control us. Our future doesn't control us. We have control right here, right now, here in the present. And I think that we have a wonderful opportunity to do that. All right, Verma King, we could do super chats and super stickers towards the end of the chat today. Right now, we're just doing our weekly reading. Patrick says that is already happening, and look already at that way. It's hard, but okay. Yeah. JG says, isn't it astrology why we have certain personality traits? Well, I would say partially yes, partially no. Everything is always a layer upon layer. There's no simple answers, as we've learned with these channelings. There's always like more. Just when you think you have something figured out, there's more, and there's more. There's more facets, more things to look. But look in our channeling list. We actually channeled astrology, and I think you'd be really interested in it. So have a look, Ski. Thank you, Angela. JG said sun and moon signs. Moon side is very important, the shadow side. And let's see, Observer says, hold on, I can't read the comment. Lately, I've been chuckling at my ego, just like looking at it with love and amusement. Oh, look at me now, feeling worried or sad. Oh, poor ego. If I've made it this far, I know it's going to be all right. Mohini says, oh, where are you from? Well, right now, I am in the beautiful state of Arizona. Dana says, continuing to keep an open mind and heart is so important on the healing journey. Definitely. Corey says, I'm really struggling in life. I feel for you. Because I think that a lot of us are really going through like another like dark night of the soul. Like it, and I think it's that, like when people talk about having an awakening, I don't think there's just one awakening. I think we awaken over and over and over again. Like I said, there's so many more layers, and as new layers are brought into our focus, it can be sometimes shattering to our world, to the point where we feel anxiety or depression. And I know that things can get really dark. I've been in a very dark place personally, several times in my life, but I can look back on those experiences now as an experience without feeling like I'm back in it, and trying to learn from it. Like, where was my higher self? Like, what was it trying to learn at that time? What was my ego trying to aid me with at that time? Because the ego, believe it or not, is trying to help us, but it's trying to help us from a very limited matrix point of view, because it is a matrix program. So in essence, you have the higher self trying to help you, or help us, because it's, or help itself really, because it has a mission. The ego is trying to help itself because it has a mission. And when the two are really brought to the surface, and we can really see how at odds they are, then yes, life can feel very, very difficult. So definitely sending a lot of love to people who are going through a difficult time right now. I know you're going to make it through it. We just, I would say, keep yourself as grounded as possible, and as much as you can, try to go into meditation and try to listen to the voice of the higher self, how it can help you personally. I think that that is our best helper. I know that there are so many wonderful healers, beautiful people out there who have the ability to help others, but our best helper in this entire world is right here on the inside. And that is going to be helpful in showing us our personal power, that we could do it. And of course, the entire collective in its healing journey is allowing us to get access to that. So the more we heal, the more we put into the collective consciousness, and the more when we try to heal ourselves, we can tap into that collective consciousness, because she healed and he healed and they healed and all of these people healed, and I get to access that. I am a part of all of this. I'm not alone. And I think that's something that our higher selves would like us definitely to know. Mohini said their day, here it's night. So completely opposite time zone. Interesting. Prairie Winds and Wildflowers says, hey y'all, nice to meet you. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday. From Canada. Hello. Dana says, we have so many levels of the Dark Knight, like the Awakening Inception. I know. Says, I literally just had this conversation earlier with a friend. Wow. I know, right? It's like, and we were talking about, actually, with our new neighbors, like we were talking about the Dark Night of the Soul, that we've gone through stuff. Some of us are going through it again, and but what's beautiful is that we're all here to support each other, whether we're here physically or here energetically. We're all still here for every one of us. Corey said, thank you. I'm subbing. Thank you for the support. Much love to you. Shambhavi says, hiya from India. Hello. All right, you guys. So let's get to the portion of our live chat that you guys voted on. If you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, there is a voting poll that I put out on my channel every Thursday, and I put it out on my channel's public page. I give it to my Patreon homies. I give it to my YouTube members. And so if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon friend, then you technically get extra votes to help push forward some of those public votes on my channel's page. But I offer 4 suggestions, I think it's three or four suggestions every week for people to vote on. And it looks like this week everybody wanted a spirit box session, which is something that we did on Patreon. I'm just going to do it a little bit differently so that way, Patreon gets Patreon stuff. But yeah, let me show you guys what I have here. Okay, so first I want to talk about when it comes to spirit communication. Obviously, a lot of people know me on this channel as being a channeler. I do channel all of these different entities, sometimes 4D stuff, which is the spirit world. That's the world of spirit, lower astrals, people that are, or entities that are trying to move like outside of the cube technically and move on into 5D. It's a very interesting world. But I also channel entities from all other different dimensions. But when I first, started waking up, I was diving more into the spirit world, because that was something that, was like, I didn't quite understand much about it. Everybody always talks about it. It's something that I'd always seen and felt since I was a kid, but I was deathly scared of it until I got older and really wanted to face the things that I feared. And when I did, that really helped to empower me, because instead of running from my fears and not understanding anything about them or understanding anything about myself in the same regard, I started to face them head on. And when I did, I started to learn more about my own shadow aspect. And I think that really accelerated my growth. But to go back to my original roots of going out on like little ghost adventures and things like that, that's what I want to do with this spirit box session, is to utilize the physical 3D tools to kind of connect to the spirit world. I know it's a very like external 3D way of working with things, but I do always still try to like ground myself, connect, still utilize my intuition instead of just my ego with the outside tools. But you know, utilizing my intuition as much as possible. I think it would be helpful if you guys as well wanted to ground yourselves and, you know, try to tap in with your intuition. I think it definitely helps with the session. Spirit being all energetic, which we are energy as well. We just happen to be inside a very fleshy suit at the moment. But when we take that very fleshy suit off, we are just 100% soul. And soul or energy has the ability to manipulate other energy. Many of our electronics and many of the things that we have here are made with energy. Actually, everything's energy. My Jeep is energy. This cell phone is energy. This tripod has energy associated to it. So when something is wanted to manipulate something without a body, like I can't grab this with a hand anymore because I don't have a hand anymore, I'm going to have to try to manipulate the energy around this object. Okay, so let me show you the things that I have from my original days of ghost adventuring before I just started channeling them. But this is called a ghost meter. It's an EMF detector. EMF detectors actually are very good for things other than looking for spirits. You can find like energetic leaks in the house, like around outlets, like if you have a faulty outlet, or there's a lot of stuff coming through a cell phone, which I found out when I get really close to my cell phone, this thing goes off. I'll show you guys in a moment so that you can actually see that there's a lot of stuff coming out of our cell phones. But sometimes it comes out of electrical sockets. Sometimes it comes out of clocks and computers and things like that. And I think that's why in TV shows like Ghost Adventures, they want to make sure that they're in places where there's absolutely no electricity, so they don't get any false positives with their EMF detectors. What other people have found is that when they used an EMF detector, that it was also great for utilizing with the spirit world, that spirits could manipulate it just as easily as, you know, putting it next to a cell phone, and the cell phone's electromagnetic frequency is manipulating it. So that's the theory behind it anyway. Let's see. Oh, wow. So many friends coming in from India. Hello, hello. Balance 311, Stephanie, Explore Wisdom. Hey, Dobie, hello, hello. Patrick says, yesterday I was in a lot of 4D. Keanu Reeves walked by like out of nothing, and then a lot of passed away people stepped in as well. It was so cool. Some talked and some just passed by. I loved it. Yeah, there's a lot. You know, some say the veil's a lot thinner this time. I think the veil has kind of disappeared, and it's just more intense at this time because the collective consciousness makes it more intense this time. I think more people are tapping in at this time, and that's why we feel it. But I don't think the veil exists anymore, you know? Okay, I also have this other bit of equipment here, and I'll show you the boxes so that if, I don't know, if you guys wanted to use any of this stuff, you can get it off of Amazon or eBay or whatever. But I have a Rakono speaker, you know, so if you want to plug this into your cell phone or something and get like extra beats when you're at the beach or out on a hike or, you know, whatever's. So I have this little speaker and I plug it into the PSB7 Spirit Box, which actually is just a AM/FM radio, but they call it a spirit box because you have the ability to have a sweep rate, meaning if you press this button, it starts moving quickly through radio stations. So it doesn't stay on one radio station. Initially it does, but then you press sweep and then it just starts going as it like moves through the different radio stations. Now you can say how fast or how slowly you'd want it to move through radio stations. And you might be wondering what that has to do with spirit. Well, spirit, we found out, likes to manipulate through the radio, through the white noise actually. So it's the space between stations. So sometimes, let's say while it's sweeping through, going, it's going through like AM 88.9, 90.1, 90.2, 90.3, the different radio stations. Sometimes you might hear a voice come through that says like hello, but in the time it took to say hello, it already swept through like 3 or 4 radio stations. So that rules out somebody on a radio station saying hello, because the sweep rate didn't have a long enough time to stay on any one radio station for too long. So that's the theory anyway. I encourage you guys to really listen. What I've noticed with utilizing this is that since spirit is in the fourth dimension isn't another place. It's all right here. All the dimensions are right here. They're just layered on top of each other like an onion. So when we pass away, we really don't go anywhere. We're here. We're just in a different version of here. So just like with our physical eyes right now, I can't completely see 4D, but that's because we're in a different vibration than 4D. It's kind of like, the best example I can give is, you guys probably know what a ceiling fan is. When the ceiling fan is not in motion, you can see all blades of the fan. When you start to turn the fan on and it starts to whirl, now it starts to get harder to see each individual blade. But as you crank that fan up, pretty soon it looks like one thing and you can't see those individual blades anymore. I mean, you could try really hard, and that's probably like the tapping in with your intuition, but it's really hard to see those individual blades. And that's how I describe frequency, that it's a lot harder to see 4D, and 4D has a lot harder time seeing us because we're in such a slower vibration. Lower and slower doesn't mean worse or bad. It just means slower. That's it. Just like a slower fan isn't better than a faster fan. It's just the speed in which we're whirling the blades. So, when they're trying to speak through here, sometimes the sound is so fast, like it says hello instead of hello, or I live at home, but it's going so fast because their vibration is higher. So the sound in 3D sounds like they're speaking at like chipmunk speed, like super fast. But that's just how it appears to us because we're in a slower vibration. So keep that in mind. I would say that if you're going to watch the replay, try to watch the replay at a slower speed, like actually the slow speed that YouTube allows you to listen to it, because it's a lot easier to hear what's coming through here, where I don't think we catch even like 10% of what comes through with our physical ears. That's why it takes going back and listening again and again and again, until you're like, okay, I hear this and I hear this. But so I'm just putting that out there. Okay, so I have these two things connected. I have the little speaker and I have my little thing here. And the reason I have this ghost meter, which maybe I'll just put these on my legs and you guys can see. I'm going to turn the ghost meter on, or the EMF detector on, so that way if anything comes close to it, it'll go off, which I'll show you what that looks like. So I'll turn it on. Okay, so you see how it's flashing here, and it's actually on, and that's because this cell phone is putting a lot of energy out. But the further away I get from the cell phone, it's not blinking. Closer to the cell phone, further away. So these cell phones are putting out a lot of energy, let me tell you. And whenever I'm live chatting or on the internet, I notice this thing goes even crazier. So something about being on the internet and something about being like face-to-face or video is like really crazy with these things. So anyway, I'll put this on my legs so that it's far enough away from the cell phone that it's not interfering. All right, you guys, are you ready? This thing's gonna get kind of loud. So if you want to listen to with earbuds for the rest of the chat, go ahead. After this session, I'll do super chats and super stickers if you're really wanting to do that, and then we'll do a channel guided meditation. All right, but I encourage you guys to get into a grounded state right now. Really reconnect with yourself. Set your intention, and see if anything comes through for you while we're listening to the spirit box. I'm going to get myself nice and grounded, and basically all the things I do just before a mediumship session or a channeling session, except obviously I'm using an external tool, but I thought it would be fun with you guys. All right. People are talking about the spirit boxes Um, Betsy says, Arizona, where you at? White Mountains, man. um, Excellent, excellent. And thank you, Angela. Love it. Okay, so let's put this down now. And I'm gonna have this thing. Okay, so you'll see if it's all blinky blinky. Maybe I'll just put it here. Maybe that's easier. Yeah, so see, you'll be able to see if it's blinking. Okay, so that's on. If the spirit wants to manipulate it, you guys will see it. I'm going to go ahead and turn the power on here. And I'm going to turn this power on. I'm going to crank the volume. I'm putting it on AM just because AM has less like voice talkie. So it looks like this. Sorry, looks like that. So right now it's on a radio station, but we're going to do a forward sweep. So I'm gonna hold it. Okay, so you hear how it's blipping through there. I'm gonna put it on 20, basically 200 frames per second. So basically it's flipping through rather quickly. And I'm gonna turn the volume up. Okay, and I think this is up as high as it can go. All right, so maybe I'll just hold these so that you guys can actually hear. Okay, and I have this nearby somewhere. Okay, so let's get nice and grounded. So before we start asking questions, let me just get myself grounded. And you guys can go ahead and start asking questions. I'm going to start asking questions. Is there anyone here with us right now? Maybe I'll adjust our sweep rate a little bit. Is there anyone in the forest at the moment? Okay, any personas y espíritus aquí? ¿Hablas español? Me llamo Tere. Y estos mis amigos. Oh, I heard a woman's voice. Somebody was asking who wins the next election. Well, it would just be based on timeline, I suppose. Can you manipulate this? All you have to do is touch it. Whoa. It did bleep for a second. Can you please touch this again? Right here. Did you guys hear that? She said, ¿Somo? ¿Cómo? Are you Dene? She said yes. So Dene is Navajo. Did you live here? Is this your land? Okay, I heard a man briefly saying it was hers. Their voices are very subtle, but I heard a man say it was hers. What is your name? John? Is that right? Your name is John? You said, oh, Juan. Your name is Juan. You say your name is Carla. ¿Tú quieres hablar en español o en inglés? In English. Okay. Are you the woman with the child near our well? The man said yes. She says a lot of people watching. Holy crap. Yes, there are a lot of people watching. They love you. They want to speak to you. Do you see my Jeep? It's my vehicle. I don't have a horse, but I have a motorized horse. He said, wow. Do you know what color that Jeep is? What color is the Jeep? I think she said, I don't know. Man, there's a lot of people talking in here. It's just really hard to make it out. Do you like the water, the creek here? They say yes. She said, I think something. Do you know Anna? Anna is buried by our tree. Do you know who Anna is? He says no. She said yes. Oh. He said question. Oh, recuerda. Yes, yeah, memory. Do you like the water here? Mine? Do you see me? What is your name, sir? Oh, you're the same, John or Juan. Okay. Wow, they're getting talkative now. I mean, I keep feeling that the woman with the child, um, ¿cómo? Um, no escucho. Lo siento. ¿Qué color mi pelo? What color is my hair? He said brown and red. Yeah, it's got red highlights for sure. It is brown. Café. Or marrón. Okay, I'm going to show you a card, okay? She said yes. Okay, I will show you a card. You can tell me what you see. What do you see? Wow, she said what? It's the soul? Yes, soul, sun. We don't have much sun today, huh? Too many chemtrails. Let me show you a different image. He said the world. What is this? I know there are many of these types of spirits on the property or on the land. Do you see the black cats on this land? Did he say they're big and he said something? The cats are big? Are they mountain lions? She said yes. Do you want to give us a message? Something to share? It's okay to use this device. Use your energy to manipulate it. I also have this device. You can make the lights light up. You can make it flash. Do you know my name? Wow, I heard a man clear, but I just couldn't make out what he said. What did you say, sir? Do you see Miss Squirrel? Miss Squirrel is in spirit. She's my friend. Do you see her? Yes. Wow. Can you say the name of one of the people watching on this device? We call it a cell phone. It connects to people all over the world. Can you say someone's name? Somebody said Rebecca. Is there a Rebecca here? Or Rebecca in the chat? And Tony? Tony and Rebecca? Somebody said that's something. Do you like that you can hear your voice? There's nothing to fear. We don't fear you. You don't need to fear us. We're just trying a different form of communication. Of course, we can communicate in spirit, in meditation. Would you prefer that way? Somebody said yes. Is it hard to use this device? Difficult, I should say. Is it difficult to use this device? Someone said a bit. Do you wish this to be turned off now? Are you finished? There's a few people talking. I thank you, the people who came through. I will connect to you later energetically. Did he say true that? I thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. I will connect to you again later when I go to connect to my ancestors. We thank you so much. He said thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, let me turn this off. Put these cards back here. All righty, let's bring this back up. Wow, okay. So like I said, today's session was just in homage to my beginnings before I became a medium, before I was reading cards, before any of that stuff. I didn't quite understand that we could just connect to spirit. I didn't quite understand my energy in that way yet. But I still think it's interesting to see how 4D can try and manipulate the 3D. So I appreciate everybody that voted on this spirit box session. So all right, it seems like a lot of people had fun. So thank you, thank you. If you guys would like to do super chats or super stickers, now would be the time. I will, let's see, what deck do I want to use? Ooh, maybe I'll use Mildred Payne's Oracle of Black Enchantments. So yeah, we could do super chats, super stickers if you're wanting a card pull. Again, thank you. I had fun with the spirit box session. It is kind of fun to go back to what I used to utilize before, obviously I work things the way I do now. But I still think it's a lot of fun, especially for my ego, because it's like being able to physically hear, somebody's voice come through, although, I hear it differently in my third eye and stuff these days, but I thought that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun with it. And I like to do it almost like every year, around this time on my live chats and things like that. But yeah, so we could do super chats, super stickers. And then if not, we will go into a channeled guided meditation. I always like to end on a healing note. And then, yeah, if you guys would like to message me or DM me on Instagram at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, let me know what you guys are doing this week. If you're celebrating anything, like I said, whether it's the Festival of Lights, Diwali, if you are celebrating All Hallows Eve or Halloween or Dia de los Muertos or Dia de los Niños or All Souls Day, All Saints Day. If you're celebrating Samhain, definitely let me know. And if you want to share anything, just let me know. Palash, I'm so sorry for your loss. What I love is that when we connect to spirit and realizing that they never really went anywhere, it's just harder to see them with our five senses, but they're always with us. Sometimes they appear to us in our dreams. Sometimes they like to manipulate and bring us symbols to show us that they're near. And it's just nice to know that spirit, the collective consciousness, all of us, that we're all here for one another. And although we may shed our physical form, we don't go anywhere. We're all right here, perhaps in a different dimension, but we're all right here and we can be accessed at any time. Just set the intention, and you have to connect through the heart space, got to connect through the soul. It's very hard to do it with the ego. because the ego, well, like I said, it's kind of trapped in here. So it's very hard for it to see anything outside of here. So that's why we have to come in here. We have to come into our heart space. But definitely, get into a good meditative space, really understand the voice of your higher self, the voice of the ego. I think it makes it easier with spirit communication. Especially there are people say, how do you know if you're not being tricked by a spirit? And that all comes from being able to understand your own voice first before understanding anybody else's voice, any other spirits or entities. You have to understand your own soul's voice, your own ego's voice. um, you know so let's see here. Oh, we do have some super chats and super stickers. uh Nicole is saying, how can I see them? I would say, like with everything, I know I sound like a broken record, but I always say get into that good meditative practice. It all just is a form of understanding your own energy first before really being able to understand anything else, any other energies, really. But yeah, I mean, James and I want to do a shadow work video at some point, but definitely check out that fireside chat Q&A video I did on channeling, how I channel. So it's under our channeling playlist if you're interested. Rodolfo is saying, where am I from? I am in the beautiful state of Arizona, in like northeastern Arizona. A gift of company said, are you Navajo? No, I'm actually Pima. Pima, through Mexico, and part of the reservation that leads up into Arizona, actually the state that I'm in. All right. We have a couple of super chats. Hey, thank you. Thank you. JG said, recently moved. How long will this move be? Short or long term? I'm undecided. Okay, so let me grab that deck, the Oracle of Black Enchantments, because Mildred Payne and Patrick Valenza, who is a fabulous artist. Okay. We have our big cards here. Again, this is like another one of those like landscape decks. I think they're a lot of fun. All right. So thank you. Let's dive in. First, let me tap into your energy. Okay. A lot of times, for those who don't know, my intuition comes in the form of like pop culture and songs. And so the song I was hearing when I was trying to tap into your energy was Leanne Rhymes. I think it's "Can't Stop the Moonlight." I don't know. Dude, I haven't like heard a Leanne Rhymes song since I was in high school. Like, so it's deep in your heart, da, 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 do do know, and you can't stop the moonlight, do 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 do. I don't know why that's playing, but we'll pull a card. We'll see what that has to do with your move being long term or short term. Can't stop the moonlight, can't fight it. Okay, interesting. Leanne Rhymes. That's an interesting one. Ooh, okay. This definitely looks like undecided, two halves pulling with you in the middle, ego wanting to go one way, higher self wanting to go the other. So let's go ahead and give the answer for the ego and the higher self. And then that way you can make a decision, and it's a clear decision, obviously with your own free will, whether, okay, well, the ego decision sounds more like a path I want to go down for my lessons. Okay. Or, you know what? The higher self seems more like a path I want to go down for my lessons, the long or short term. So let's have a little look-ski. All right. The ego decision is that it wants to stay there long term. It really wants to feel out this whole situation, the people, the area. It wants to have certain opportunities come to you that it feels would make it feel more comfortable. It feels very uncomfortable at the moment, and it's desperately seeking comfort. It says, I want to seek stability. I want to seek comfort. So I don't want to move right away. I want to stay here for a while. I want to learn some things here for a while. The higher self says, short term, that there are a few things that I need to pick up for my toolbox, my spiritual tools, so to speak, some lessons I can learn here, but I don't want to become stagnant in my healing. So I'm going to allow myself the opportunity to move again when I'm ready. Okay. So like I said, you got the two halves here, but that choice then is up to you. So you could stay there more long term, you could stay there more short term. Whoa, all the little gnats showed up. But that is definitely up to you. Like I said, the ego is going to want to stay there longer term. Oops, I dropped my battery. Um, it's going to want to stay there longer term because it's seeking a form of comfort, which there's a lot of learning in that. There's a lot of lessons we can learn. There's a lot we can learn about ourselves in that. So I would say neither is a good or bad decision. It's just a decision. And just know that each of those decisions, whatever decision you make, is going to come with lessons, is going to come with ways that you can view yourself. If you want to go with the ego's decision, know that you're going to be there for a while as it tries to seek its foundation, its stability, and its comfort. The higher self would like to move on a little bit more quickly because it feels like you could gather what you need rather quickly, and it's going to offer you opportunities to move. So when the opportunities come up again, know that that is the higher self offering you those opportunities to move on from the place that you're currently in. Or you could say, I see it. I recognize that those opportunities are being given to me by my soul, by my higher self. But for the moment, I feel like I'm not ready and I want to go with the ego. But at least I'm very clear on my decision. And so that decision, like I said, is up to you. There's no good or bad choice. It's just up to you, but at least you have clarity of that choice. Just know that if you're going to stay here longer, I'm doing it because my ego wants to learn a few more things while I'm here, which your higher self is always, I mean, it's never opposed to learning. So if it feels like you want to learn through the ego at the moment and stay a little bit while longer, it's all on board with that. But if you want to go with what the higher self wants to do, which it's like, hey, let's stay here not for too long, and then I'll get us some opportunities, and we'll move on from here. Something that we can continue on in our alignments journey. But again, that's up to you. So I hope that's helpful. At least you have like both sides' opinion, I should say. All right, and then all right, we got our buddy 1111 as well as our buddy John and Sukbir. Okay, we could do that. All right, so 1111, which who doesn't love 1111? All right, friend. What does Rebecca want to say to me? All right, let's tap into your energy. Have a little sip of water. Stay hydrated, my friends. And then we'll pull a card. So okay, as I was tapping into your energy, trying to bring in Rebecca's energy, she was playing the diva dance song from The Fifth Element, and the song that they sing is L'Amour, and it comes from it's actually from the opera L'Amour, but it's like a different song. But it's a very very interesting opera, by the way, and it's interesting that they would use that aria for that movie, The Fifth Element. But anyway, that's the song that she's singing. She's a do 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 I'm trying to remember the name. Il dolce suono. That's the name of the song. Il dolce suono, mi poche posso dolce. I used to love to sing that aria. I am not warmed up in my voice right now, so I'm not going to attempt to sing some opera at this moment. There's a lot of smoke in the skies. I'm like, But anyway, she's got the diva dance song playing. Let's see here. All right. So we have all of these lions, and it looks like they're attacking this little devil dude. So let's see what she's trying to say. Okay. So she says she understands that there's a lot of layers of things that we're going through. You know, we go through things on a very human level. We go through things on a level in our 4D self, our 5D self, our 6D self, so on and so forth. Um, and as above so below, so what's happening in all those levels definitely feels like it here. And she says it may feel in this realm where we are taught to only utilize the five senses, it may feel that the negative polarity is the stronger polarity. Like she says, you may notice that there are things that seem ominous, that they're always trying to get you, or it always seems like the evil, what we might deem or label evil in this world, is so much stronger, it's so much darker, that we never hear about the light, we never see what's going on with the light. But she says, think about it. When we're looking at the negative polarity, we have to use our five senses for it. She says, because that's the only way they can try to get to us is through our ego. What does our ego use? The five senses. So if the negative polarity or the matrix or whatever is trying to scare the socks off of us, trying to give in through fear, give our power away because of our fear, where does our fear lie? Our fear lies in the ego, because the ego is very uncertain. It doesn't see beyond its limits. Where the higher self, having no fear, is limitless. It sees all possibilities. How could we have fear when we see all timelines, all possibilities? We see all that is. So it is fearless. And so she says, right now, the matrix and negative polarity is trying to keep you in a lowered vibration through your five senses, trying to utilize the ego against you. But remember, the ego is not your enemy. You can look at the ego and say, through my fear, where is this fear coming from? My ego is going to show me exactly where my fear is coming from. It's going to show me my programming. It's going to show me my traumas. Thank you so much, ego, for showing me that, showing me my fear. So, not condemning it, not saying I'm going to swallow my fear or I'm just going to pretend I'm not fearful, but I want to go into the ego actually, show me where my fear is, show my higher self where it is. My higher self's going to go in and heal that so that I can connect more through my sixth sense, which is also known as our intuition or our soul sense. And that is the sense that the matrix, the negative polarity, cannot deceive. Why do you think that they don't tap in through our intuition? Because our intuition is strong. Our intuition is all seeing and all knowing. That's why it can only manipulate our five senses, because that's where fear lies. That's where our ego lies. So just keep that in mind when you feel like you're under psychic attack and all of these things, that they're really just going after you through the ego. But allow the ego to show you exactly where you need to heal so that they can't have as much influence anymore. In fact, it's really the influence we give them, I should say. But just so it doesn't feel so intense, perhaps that's better wording. Whereas the higher self is like, okay, I'm taking back my power. Every time I go in and heal a piece of my fear, I take back my power. I get stronger and stronger. And that voice that you hear, 1111, starts to get stronger. That voice that right now might sound like a whisper starts to get louder, because the more we heal one side, the stronger it makes the other side. Whereas right now, we've always fed the ego, so that's why the ego is so strong. But the more we feed the higher self gets stronger. So I hope that makes sense. And that's what Rebecca really wanted you to know at this time. She says that it might feel really difficult if you feel like you're being attacked by things that seem very negative. But she says, remember that that's all illusion, because they're only attacking through the five senses. And that's where they have limits, where you are limitless. Go into the limitless sense. All righty. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Angela says, blessings to the ones who transitioned and their loved ones still here. May love and light communication come through so clear. Amen. Victor says, hola. All right. Hello, hello. Johnson's channeling is different for everyone, and that's great, but can be difficult in this culture. We are used to step by step instructions. Yeah, I know. And it seems like it's all over the place. All right. So, John, let's see. Did you have a question? I'm just scrolling through to see if John had a particular question. Um, And sorry if I can't get to everybody's comments. Just pulling cards for those people doing super chats and super stickers right now. My apologies, but I love you guys. Hopefully, you guys can chat amongst yourselves. So, John, let me know what your question is. Afterwards, we have our friend Sukhbir to pull a card for you, and I will definitely do that after our buddy John. Lily says Leanne's been popping up for me a lot too. Really? Leanne Rhymes. Alrighty, alrighty, excellent. Okay, so just waiting for John. Just going through your comments here. Somebody's listening to the reading and fell asleep. Kay, hey, this has been a long time, but I'm finally here. Hello, 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 hello. Thanks, Leroy. Jake, I would say that I don't think that there's like special people that speak to spirits or anything. I think that it's something that we all have an ability to do because we are spirit, we are soul. So we're energetic beings. We have access to all things. We are connected to source. Some people call it God. Some people call it Allah. Some people call it by many different names, but I feel we all come from the same stuff, basically. So it's just a remembering, really, who we are. Philip, hello, hello. Philip is from Romania. Hello. I used to have a roommate actually that was from Romania. She had a Transylvanian and Romanian citizenship. She was pretty cool. John says, I'll say it now. Oops. I'm trying to find this team. $11.11, you are very welcome. Okay, so John said, Spirit basically said, I'm at a place where I need to stop the looking and do the thing, just an energy check-in. Okay, all right. Definitely, we'll take a look at that. Healing Marcus is lots of love from Canada. Hello, hello. All right, so need to stop looking and do the thing. Okay. All right. So let's see what the thing is, but let's just do a little energetic connection, see if we get any. Seems like it always comes in the form of music. So let's see where the radio station dial is turned this time. Oh my gosh. John, okay, this is just the song that was coming through, but I was hearing Everybody by Backstreet Boys. I freaking love that song. Backstreet's back, all right. Hey, yeah. Everybody and a ding. Everybody, something, want to show you how. Got a question for you, better answer now. Am I original? Yeah. Yeah. How sexual, yeah. Am I everybody? Did you gotta rock your body now? Everybody. Sorry, terrible singing, but you get the gist. Okay, so anyway, I don't know why Backstreet Boys, Everybody is coming up. I think that's kind of a Halloweeny music video. I think they're all like monsters, like vampires and werewolves and the mummy. And I was like at the tail end of like, I was starting to get a little too old for like boy bands, but I liked Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I'm not ashamed to admit. Okay. Ooh. All right. So we have this lady, and it looks like she's being carried by some angels to this little chapel here. All right. Okay. So let's tap in here. Okay. So what your higher self is saying about the doing, um and it's kind of, I guess, a piece of the Backstreet Boys song. It says, you it's like in the song, everybody technically, yes, because the song is everybody, everybody's getting together, and they're just like in the thing, they're just like having fun, like they're having fun pretending to be a werewolf or a vampire or the mummy, or creature from the Black Lagoon, and like all of this stuff. And it's saying to have fun at the same time, not trying to look for the messages, so to speak, so hard. Like sometimes when we're on our spiritual journey, it's like we're like waiting, like, where's the message? Show me the message. I want to know what I need to do next. Like, show me the message. Show me, any sign or symbol that I what I need to do next. And your higher self is saying it's less looking outside yourself for the sign or the symbol, and it's more just this very subtle knowing that I want to go here right now. I want to go drive over here right now, or I want to take a different way home, or you know what? I feel like I haven't called this friend in a while. I'm just going to give them a call. And it's these very subtle things that are taking you actually where your higher self wants you to go. So it's less in your face, less signs, coming out of the sky. And, this jackrabbit came up to me and was like all up in my face, like, I have a message for you. It's less that, because it wants you to get more in tune with the subtle energy of yourself, because there's, of course, the dominant energies that we have, but we have very subtle energies within our energetic field. There's parts of our higher self that is very subtle. And if you can start to understand the different frequencies within yourself, just within us, then you can understand the more subtle as well as the more prominent frequencies that surround you. And it just helps you to better navigate this world. But you have to understand the more subtle voice of yourself. So yes, your higher self could be loud and proud. It could be very loud and say, hey, John, I want you to go do this, and let's go over here. But what happens when things are just more subtle? And sometimes we have to go over here because I subtly feel it. So this is a time of understanding the subtleties and learning to trust those subtleties just as much as you trust the things that seem more dominant and more prominent, and the major signs and the symbols that you get. So it's trusting the subtlety of your energy. So I hope that makes sense. John says, I have an idea about this. Lizzie girl, yes, I understand what you're saying. And I do feel that, yes, just like with any skill, we have to hone it. And so there are going to be people that seem to be more adept at connecting to energies than others. But I feel that we all have the ability to do it. We just have to practice more with it. And so, yes, there are people that are more practiced, more progressed, people less practiced. But everybody's on a different journey. Some people in this lifetime weren't meant to tap into it because they decided they didn't want to, and that's part of their lesson and their learning. Some people wanted to become, just they wanted to go full on into just getting better and better, until the day they exit this world, and that's also a part of their journey. Um let's see. Beck said, if somebody from Holland has a child with someone who is Filipino, does that make them jalapeno? Oh my gosh, I am Pinoy, so that does make me laugh. My grandfather is from Cebu. Um, okay. Let's look here. Oh, Mike Green says the Monster Squad. Oh my god, I love that movie. John says we're always in the portal, always becoming, always dying to the old. Yes, it makes sense. Wow. Love it. Love it. And JG says jackrabbits are all abundant in my area. Cats hunt them in the desert. Coyotes do them too. Yeah, we have jackrabbits. We have a lot of coyotes. They came up around here like around 4 a.m. this morning. I could hear them all. Yep, 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 yep. I love our coyotes. All right, more friends from Brazil. Hello, hello. JG says, I live in the deserts. Love it. Well, yeah, we're at a weird elevation here because we're at 6,500 feet. So we are considered a subalpine conifer forest. So you're a juniper pinyon forest, but we're kind of like we're not like super super high altitude, but we're not really desert eater either, so we're kind of, I don't know, somewhere in there. All right, so I did have to pull a card for our friend Sukbir. So I was going to pull a card for him, and then we'll pull a card for our friend Crushed. Sure, would love to. All right, Sukbir, let's go ahead and tap into your energy, and then we will pull a card for you. uh I forgot who sings this song, but it's a little bit older song. It's like it's an American song, so I don't know, but it's called da na 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 hey 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 goodbye. Du-dun, du-dun, du-dun. I think it's from the 60s. I said reach out, hey, I'll be there. Do, 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 do. I'll be there. Keep asking, do, do. Man, I haven't heard that song in so long and I forgot all the words, but man, I love that song. Anyway, let's pull a card for you. All right, Supir, let's see how that even ties in. Oh, and so we have the lady and she's falling from her tower. Ah, but let's see what this means. Trust. Okay, I get it. It's more like a trust fall. And so I guess that's why that song was playing, because it keeps saying, I'll be there. I'll be there is your higher self. And so in those times where you're feeling very scared and very nervous about a decision that you're about to make, let's say you're going to try something new and it's making you really anxious, really nervous, where that anxiety and nervousness comes from ultimately, obviously there's, everybody's got a personal thing that we can go in and heal and look at, but like as a general overview, when we become anxious or nervous about something new, it's because that it is new, where our ego lives in the past. So if we're trying something that we've never tried before, the ego has no foundation, no stasis really to pull from. It's saying, well, if you try that new thing, how do you know how it's going to go? Let's stay in the past, because in the past, even if something wasn't working out for us, even if it made us unhappy, at least I knew how it was going to turn out. If we keep repeating the past, then it's kind of like the ego's way of predicting the future. I know exactly how something's going to be because the way we did it, it's already happened before, and I can keep doing it that way, even if it doesn't make us happy. But the ego finds safety in the past, in what was, in repeating patterns, where the higher self, seeing basically an infinite number of timelines, being able to see all that is, because it is source, we are one, you are me, I am you. And it's like, yes, go ahead, take this fool's leap. Go ahead and try it, because it could only lead to more learning. Like, I got you. You'll never fall flat on your face. There's always going to be some learning. There's always going to be some growth. And I'm right there with you because I am you. Your soul is you. I know sometimes we forget that because we listen to our ego a lot, but our soul is us. And I hate to always talk about the higher self in third person, because the higher self is me, the higher self is you. It's everything. So in whatever newness you're trying, or any new ventures or new people that come into your life, just understand that a lot of that nervousness, a lot of that anxiety is not because what's happening is bad for you necessarily. Of course, always tap into your higher self, but it's because it's something different than what has happened before. And that frightens the crap out of our egos. But the higher self has got you. It's got your back. It is you. And so it would never let you fail, so to speak, because it doesn't see failure. It doesn't see success or failure. It just sees that everything is learning. And so everything is for your benefit right now. Whether you want to label it bad or good or success or failure, your higher self is like, it doesn't matter. You're going to learn something from it. You're going to grow from it, and it's going to make you a better person. And the next time this, similar thing comes around, you're going to be more prepared because you've done it before, and it makes you stronger and it helps you to build your confidence. And what we were telling 1111 before about that voice becoming louder and louder, or our buddy John about the subtleties, you get better with them, and you learn to trust them more, and your reality starts to change because of it. Your opportunities start to change because of it. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for letting me pull a card for you. And now we have our friend Crushed. Oops, there we go. Crush says, hi, I want to know what message Spirit has for me. I'm trying to move on from, I'm in a relationship. Okay, on from a relationship. Okay. All right. All right. So let's dive into your energy. Okay. Wow. 90s coming in hot. I was hearing the song Anytime by Brian McKnight. Do I ever cross your mind? Anytime. Do I ever wake up reaching out to me? Man, I love that song. Gosh, I haven't heard that in a hot minute, but that's what I heard when I was tapping into spirit, you, your soul, your higher self. Um, so let's see what message it has for you as you move on from this relationship. And it seemed like in the video where he's talking about, I'm reaching out to you. This is more like soul, spirit, higher self reaching out to you. Um, do I ever cross your mind anytime? Yeah. Do you ever, does your intuition cross your mind anytime? I think that's what it's trying to say. And all you have to do is reach out to me. All right. Okay. So let's pull a card then. Ah, interesting. So we have these different plants growing here. Okay. So let's see what this means. Okay. Okay. All right. So, what your higher self, what spirit was trying to say is that think of yourself as a plant. Like we have our little garden over there. And right now, because we had a cold snap, even though it's like pretty warm today, we had a cold snap where the corn were growing. They were happy and healthy, just like we are in our relationships. Sometimes we're growing, we're moving along, and then something happens, and we decide, you know what, it's time to part. We're going separate ways. We're growing out of our relationships. Sometimes, these plants they kind of grow out of themselves. They've kind of spent their time. And with this cold snap that we had, the corn have died, and so, but I know that they're not dead. And so when we are separating from someone or moving away from someone, sometimes nothing bad really has to happen. Sometimes our energies just shift and change, and we've just kind of grown apart. We're going on our separate journeys, but we have to have gratitude for the time that we had together, for all the learning and the lessons and all the beauty that was in there, while acknowledging that, yes, there were things that were more challenging, but there was lessons in that too, and there was growth in that too. And if we can embrace the difficult times as much as that we embrace what we might call the more beautiful times, then we get a more well-rounded outlook, and we ourselves can grow just as much as we hope that the other person, no matter how we feel about them currently, that we hope the other person was able to tap into that opportunity as well, to look at the shadow and the light that was in the relationship and to grow from it, and they can take that into their next relationship, and you could take it into your next relationship. But the reason I bring up the corn is because although it may seem dead now, it may seem like nothing really much is happening there. With all the winds that we've had, they've thrown a lot of their seeds, and a lot of the seeds are now inside the soil. And so it may seem like a dark period where we're underneath the earth, we're in the soil. It seems like I don't know if, when I'll ever grow again, and if I ever will grow, meaning will I ever get into another relationship? Will it be another difficult relationship? Or I'm not sure. But we're in this little seeding phase, or you're in this like little seed phase. But as you go inwards with yourself, trying to understand all of the lessons and all of the shadow and all of the light, and having gratitude for it all, and trying to have that overall perspective of the relationship, and basically, and also incorporating all relationships of the past, and trying to see any correlation between any of them. What are things that were different? How was my energy different in these relationships? What was my 50%? Because relationships are 50-50. Somebody may have a more dominant personality, but they're still always 50-50. And we have 50-50 choices all the time when we're in these relationships. And so as a seed, the seed has a choice. The seed could say, you know what, I want to stay below the soil, maybe infinitely, and that's what I want to do. But it's its choice. Or it might decide, it's going to be a little scary, but I'm gonna go ahead and put myself back out there again, and we're gonna see what happens. And I guarantee you, all this corn that's over here, they're not sad about the life that they lived, basically being in the relationship between this world and their world of soil, because they got to experience growth. They got to experience growing a little corn on the cob. They got to experience leaves and photosynthesis. They got to experience what it was like to be around birds and bugs and grass and around other corn. And it was beautiful. And even though that their relationship with that has died, it has passed away, they are not remorseful of it. They're actually really grateful, because they know that they will grow again, that we will grow again, your relationships will grow again, something new will come back around. But taking all of those is going to help you immensely. You'll notice that you will be a little bit more sure-footed. You'll feel more confident going into a future relationship. But right now is your growth period. Right now you're below the soil, and you're just in your seeding phase. You're a little seedling, but good things are coming. Eventually you will grow again. But right now I'd say the focus is on the self, and looking into the past as well as the present, and looking into where you were energetically, where you are energetically now, where you want to be energetically in the future, and what kind of energy you would like to bring in based on your own energy, because we bring in people based on our frequency. So if you're wanting a particular frequency, how could I get myself in this frequency to bring in the frequency I desire? Basically, the partner I desire. So I hope that makes sense. Medicine Crow says, I live at 6,000. I'm in Concho. Really? Concho is like right next door, actually. I am right next to Concho. That's super cool. All right. Let's see. Let's go back here. I think that was all of our super chats and super stickers. Wow. Thank you. So thank you to everybody who donated with those super chats and super stickers. I really appreciate the energetic exchange. Thank you to everybody who came in the chat today. Thank you for voting on the Spirit Box session. I think that was a lot of fun. Of course, we can tap into spirit anytime, because we are spirit. And I think the first spirit we should ever really get a good acquaintance with is the spirit that's right in here. I'm going to do a channeled guided meditation now. So if you would like to stick around for the healing, I highly encourage you. Thank you, everybody who joined us. Thank you to all my subscribers, all of my lurkers, everybody who came in. Sorry I couldn't get to every single comment, but I appreciate you guys. And everybody who watches the replay, look at the comment section. So there's always a lot of fun stuff going on in the comments. There's a lot of beautiful people here from a lot of different backgrounds and beliefs and countries and places all over the world. A lot of beautiful people. You guys are amazeballs. That's why I like hanging out with you guys on Sundays. Let's get our meditation on. Hey. Mike says, God bless all. Yes. Lots of love to you from the Philippines. Hey, Pinoy, mabuhay. All right. So let me put this away, and we'll get our meditation on, eh? Okay. And I guess next time I see you guys, gosh, what that will be. Wow, heading into November. Woo! Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, so let me get out of your way so you don't have to stare at my mug for this meditation. Uh, so let me move here. Let's move this chair. And yeah, we'll do a little. Whoa. There we go. That's a that's a prettier picture, I think. Okay, let's go ahead and get all nice and cozy. So go ahead and find yourself a nice, comfortable space, someplace where you will not be disturbed for the next several minutes. And you could be maybe sitting outside, maybe lying under a tree. You could be sitting on a cushion in your house, maybe in a chair, maybe laying on the bed, anywhere that is comfortable for you. And as you get yourself situated, I want you to bring your awareness to your breath. If it helps, go ahead and place one hand over your belly and one hand over your heart. And just feel that rise and fall of your chest. We're not placing any judgment on the breath. Just notice, is the breath nice and deep? Is it shallow? Is it slow? Is it quick? When you feel your breath, do you feel yourself breathing more into the throat, into your lungs, into your diaphragm? Maybe you feel that breath all the way down to your tippy toes. When you exhale, where are you pulling that breath from? Maybe it is only in your chest. Maybe you're pulling it from deep in your belly. Maybe you feel like you're pulling it right from underneath your feet. But as you continue breathing, I want you to set some intentions. As we move on between this midpoint, between now and the winter solstice, our autumn equinox and our winter solstice, what do I want to meditate on this winter? If we're in the southern hemisphere, what do I want to see grow? So, whether you're moving into a period of stillness or a period of growth, what is your intention? While you are still and we move towards this period of stillness, what do you want? What do you want to meditate on? What do you want to heal within yourself? What do you want to have looked at? And with every breath you take and you breathe it in, I want you to breathe in this intention, not just into the lungs, but I want you to breathe it into all aspects of your being. I want you to feel it in your skin, in your bones, in your cells, in your blood. Feel it in your energetic body, your emotional body. And when you exhale, we're going to release the old, perhaps an old belief. Perhaps we release an old situation or someone that no longer serves us. Or perhaps we're going to physically let go some of our material things that no longer serve us. But we must make room for the new. And if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're getting ready to create something, you want to bring something in, then have a focus. What do I want to bring into my life? What do I want to take action on? What do I want to create? What am I excited about? What do I want to learn? And as you exhale, again, we must make room for something. So, what no longer serves us? What can we thank and show gratitude for the time that it was in our life, but it is no longer needed? And we let it go. No animosity, no remorse, no sadness, but we let things go in love and gratitude. If we can see the light and shadow in all things, then we can see the love in all things. So continue breathing in this manner, breathing your intention as we get closer to this midway point. What do you want to bring in? What do you want to meditate on? And we release it. We release what no longer serves us. So I'm going to bring you through some structured breathing. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 5. We're going to hold it, and we're going to breathe out for a count of 6. And we'll do this a few times. All the while, I want you to focus on your intention. Focus on it filling your entire being. Like I said, every piece of you, every cell in your body, every bone, all of your blood, every hair on your head, your entire energetic form, being filled with that intention. So let's breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue breathing on your own in this way. Focus on that intention. Focus on how it feels in your body. Does it fill you with excitement? Does it feel warm? Do you feel it in your heart space? Feel into this. Continue with a couple more breaths, and as you do, with those hands, the hand that is over your belly and the hand that is over your heart, I want you to imagine a little sun in your hands, in the palm of your hands, like the beautiful sun that we have in our sky. It's like a fireball. It's warm. It swirls with flames. This is your energy, your fiery, manifesting energy. And you begin to feel your belly fill with heat, your heart space fill with heat as it fills with this intention. You are your own generator of fire, of manifestation, of creation. You are source energy itself. You are all that is. All is one. And we show gratitude for the mirrors in our life, for those that show us our shadow as much as those that can show us our light. Continue focusing on your intention. Continue to feel the fire in your belly radiating from your hand, the fire in your heart radiating from your other hand. Pretty soon that fire begins to envelop your entire being until all of you feels hot with that creative intention, with what you want to do. All of it is you. And now, I want you to bring your awareness back into your body, starting to feel back into your fingers and your toes, remembering your intention, remembering how it felt within you. you're ready, go ahead and have yourself a nice big stretch. All right. All right, you guys. Okay, I hope that you guys had a fun live chat today. I had lots of fun with you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me here in the White Mountains of Arizona. Thank you to everybody who voted on our poll. Thank you to everybody who allowed me to pull a card for them. Thank you for everybody who voted for this spirit box session. I thought that was a lot of fun. And thank you for joining me on this meditation. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope that you have a beautiful week. And if you are celebrating those holidays, may you have a beautiful holiday with your friends and family. And remember, the collective consciousness is always with you because you are the collective consciousness. So I love you guys. Have a great week. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.